Hi there and welcome back to the channel. Up on the bench today is a Mitsubishi CT-2117 BM, I believe. It's from about 1986, 87, something like that. It's got a SCART socket on the back, so it's going to be sort of post-86, 1986. This was given to me by the guys at WeLoveCRTs. They saw it and thought of me, and thank you very much, David. Yeah, it's very similar to the other Mitsubishi which I got from them. It has been significantly water damaged, so this there's a wooden case on this which is showing signs that it's got wet. It's got that sort of mid-80s design. It's got a glass screen on there. We've got some sort of readout here. Again, power buttons, channel selectors, on-off button down here. We've got some controls here similar to the other TV. So we've got looks like contrast, brightness. We've got treble and bass, vertical hold, various controls as well down here, and also tuning there. On this side here we've got something here. It might have something on there, but that's the speaker there. It's looking a bit grim. Let's turn this round. It is a bit heavy. As you can see, this is the wood grain. Well, it's actually just a veneer or a plastic on top, and yeah, it's showing signs that it's got wet. It's just a particle board. It may not be that the television's got soaked inside. We never know. So on the back here we've got a SCART connector. Don't know what that is. RF there. Sticker here which is CT-2117 BM, 98 watts, 240 volts for the British UHF standard only. I don't know why they did that. Mitsubishi sticker here, and then we've got here I think that might have been on the put on the screen from when it was originally sold. Mitsubishi high fidelity picture tube blue diamond. So yeah, it's been damaged at some point, but that was stuck on the back there and it's been there for some time. So see whether we can, if it does work, this TV, then we might be able to do something with that. Let's turn it all the way around. Here we've actually got a little cubby hole for the remote control. So there is a remote control set. Looking very forlorn. Looking inside, it's very dusty. Oh yeah, quite a bit of dust in there. It doesn't look wet inside. I think this particle board has just soaked up moisture from where it's been standing. The wrap itself is actually coming off on the edges, so it's gonna be interesting. It's had its cable taken off, so it's power cable, so I'd need to try and sort that out. Yeah, we're going to see whether this works, see whether we can actually get this thing doing something. If not, it's going to the e-waste. I just like the aesthetics of this TV. It's very nice. It reminds me of the 80s when I was growing up. So yeah, I would have been what, 10 in 1984. So yeah, this is about 84, 85, 86. Yeah, I just like it. It's a real shame about the wood. Not much we can do with that, I'm afraid. If it's actually blown and gone, that's the end of that. So we can't paint it, we can't do anything really with it. I might be able to put some fresh veneer on, like plastic veneer, but it will still be warped. It's actually got a significant warp in the top here. The screen is absolutely filthy underneath this, I can see, and it's really dirty on the corners. So it's a high hour set, there's no doubt about it. This was loved and used, and that sounds like Jack coming in. So okay, let's see what we can do with this. I need to put a power cable on it, or at least hook something up that actually can get power into it. Have a look inside, see what's going on inside, whether it's actually safe to turn on, whether there's any significant water damage. Even if there is, I'm probably going to try and power it up and see whether we get any sparks or smoke or whatever. So yeah, okay, let's crack on. Let's open the back of this thing. Well, the particle board is literally falling apart on it, which is not surprising. It's let me show you. Let me show you. So it's a very high hour set, very high hour set. It's a bit of a lost cause. It might still work, I don't know. Let's zoom down and have a look. Now, when I was taking the cover off, the particle board here, which attaches to those parts there, yeah, it basically just came away. Let's see whether I can pull those out. I might be able to re-glue that if it's worth it. They're quite damp. The whole TV is quite damp. This is dirty. This is dirty. Do I really want to touch this? But one of the more interesting things I've just noticed is look at the dust on that. That's spectacular. I haven't seen something like that in a long time. Last time was on an arcade cabinet. That is quite impressive how dirty this is. The tube looks intact. The little cups down here, they look burnt. It's do I really want to actually start this thing up? I don't know. As Shangu says, welcome to Flavour Country. Yes, this is going to really excite the taste buds and the and the nostrils when this gets warm. Yeah, as you can see, the laminate, the plastic laminate, is coming off. It's just popped off there. Wow. Can we do something with it? Yes, we can. Just having a look up there. Yeah. So let's have a quick look. There's something up there that could be the remote control unit. Could be. Then on this side looks like some sort of IC up there, and the display, some sort of Syscom board. We've got power supply here. I thought it might have been a transformer. Actually no, hang on, it's a transformer set. Yeah, so it's isolated. Yeah, that would make sense because of that. So we've got some sort of RGB processing board, and then we've then got what I can only describe as a mess. Let's go down there. That's quite messy. Yeah, this is quite impressive how bad this is. If I do anything with this is going outside, and it's going to get blown and brushed off outside. I am not doing this, cleaning this in my lab, because it will cover everything. So we've got some sort of plastic shielding over that. I don't know what that's for. There's some big ass cap there. I don't want to touch anything. Let me just get something to. Yeah, there we are. Yeah, that'll do it. Just looking at the tops of the cap, see if there's any bulging. Nothing really looks bad. This box seems to be held on. I just don't want to touch any of this. I don't want to breathe this in. I don't want to breathe it in at all. Let's see whether we can get a better view of this. Yeah, the back of that gun looks a bit orange to me. There we go. So that's where the heaters are, and that looks quite burnt and brown and discoloured. Can't really see because the rest of the gun is underneath it, but yeah, they normally should be the colour of that metal. Just there. And that there is pretty high hour. Let's just zoom back out. Yeah, that's actually focused on that. Good. Yeah, so I think this is going to be more the comedy value, I think, of trying to get this up and running. Yeah, okay, let's see what happens. What we'll do is I will sort out the power cord here. It goes to one of those, which actually looks remarkably like Sony build quality. Weird. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna just replace that cord, and we'll see what happens. It is just damp. It's just been sitting in water. I don't know how badly it's corroded, and how bad the board is underneath. Do I really want to turn this on with it damp like this? I don't know. Okay, let me replace the cord. It gives me the option of then dealing with the dampness. I think my gut instinct says don't turn on, let it dry out. Yeah. Okay, that might take a good few days. So I'll if I do decide, then you'll see the TV again in a few moments. For me, it'll be a week or so. But I am very tempted to actually just leave this near a radiator in my house, and hopefully it won't stink my house out, and let it dry out before I do anything with it. So just hope Jack doesn't decide to piss over it as well, because he's already done that to a couple of TVs when I've put them in the front living room. So okay, right, let's get that cable sorted. Okay, so I've not done a proper fix. I've just done a temporary fix with one of these connectors. It's into the mains up here, which goes through my isolation transformer, which I don't think is necessary because this thing here has got a transformer there, but that's fine. Through the bulb, through the RCD and the watt meter. So I think I'm going to do it. Let's have a bit of entertainment here. I'm going to put you back up on the stand, and let's see what happens, whether we get a bang or not. It's very damp, this thing. So everything's all there. It's all plugged in, but not powered. Let's see what happens. This is going to be either a big bang and all the lights go out, or we'll get smoke, or we'll get a picture, and I'm not entirely sure which is which. So Yeah, it's all micro controlled contrast, color and contrast, so that's going to be interesting. This is not advised to plug in things that are wet or have got damp, but this is entertainment value. This is not I'm not an educator. I am not a font of all knowledge. I'm just having fun. So here we go. Let's make sure you're running. Yeah. There we go. I don't want to miss this. Okay, so I'm going to power on at the wall, but not the switch. We're on load. We're on that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. That is, there we are. There we go. The bulb saved it. We have something. We have a picture. I'm not sure. I am not sure if we have a picture or not. It's trying. I think basically the bulb, let me get you off. So we have a flashing light there, and the bulb is not too bright. In the camera it looks really bright, but it's not. Can you see anything? Nothing at all. No smells, no nothing. Do we just bang it? Let's see what happens. And we're up. Do we have a picture? And for how long? We have a picture. We have a picture. But for how long? I don't trust this thing. Wow. We have a picture. Okay. Let's turn it off. We have a picture. I'm going to spin this round and then plug the SCART cable in, and let's see what we get. I've just removed the glass from here. The glass is down there. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wipe because it is absolutely filthy. This thing is so high hour that who knows where this was or what it was doing. It's got a certain hue, this picture, this tube. It's like a slightly bluey colour to it. Alright. Right. Yeah, that was pretty manky. Okay. And it said this has got stuff coming off. Okay, let me put you on this side here, facing that way, and we'll see what we get. Okay, so DVD's on, plugged in via the SCART. Let's turn on and power up. We have a picture. Oh my god. Not a great one. Not a great one, but better than I've seen elsewhere. On some TVs. You know, it ain't that bad. It isn't that bad. The colours are off. Let's see what the sounds. No sound. No sound. And there's some very funny whining coming from the back. I think I'm going to stop. Yeah. Well, we have a picture. I just think that I need to let this thing dry out then. I just don't want to run it. I really didn't want to actually run it in its current condition, but I thought I'd have a go and see what happens. And there was no bangs, no nothing. It just came up. So I'm going to let this dry off and bring it back up onto the bench in a few days' time. Let it sit near the radiator and just completely dry out as much as we can. And take it from there. I think this might be worth saving, this set. Some of this might come up. Let me see whether some of this, whether this is just corrosion on. Whether this is just corrosion, I am not sure. Yeah. Well, that's cleaned up much better. Let me just take you back out of this mode. So yeah, so just a quick wipe down has got rid of a lot of the crap from that. I think if the fact that it's actually working is worth actually investigating restoring this. It's a good size set. It's a little bit too big for me, but it might be worth trying to do something with it. Let's turn this round. Let's just turn that off. We do have quite a bit of wear on the controls here. I think I might have worked out why there was no volume, because there's actually a sub volume here and it was all turned all the way down. So let me just power it back up again. I've got the DVD running into the SCART socket. Let's see whether we get some sound out of this. Okay, let me unplug the SCART and see whether we get any noise. I'm sure I heard something. Yeah, so there is sound coming from the speaker. Cool, okay, right. I think then this TV needs a thorough clean. It needs drying out, and we can take it from there. Would I do a full recap? I'd probably do a recap of all the major capacitors that get hot, damaged, and the general low microfarad high voltage caps. It isn't going to be the best specimen in the world, but it's got potential. It has definitely got potential. I like the design. But it's pretty much the same design language as that little silver portable 15-inch thing, so it's been in 21-inch form. Again, apart from that cabinet. Yeah. Okay, right. Let's put it on inside the house up against a radiator for a few days and see where we get. I might actually just blow all the crap out of it and see what we get there. before I actually put it in the house. So let's think about doing that. Right, okay, let me just organise that. So it's looking considerably better and easier to work with. It's a lot cleaner. Just get rid of the light dust on it, just so I can see sort of values and all sorts of stuff like that. I ain't Shangu, who seems to relish working on stuff which is covered in sand and bird crap and rat feces and all sorts. That's not my thing, I'm afraid. Though I absolutely love watching his videos when he goes for it. So, but yeah, this one's it's just a light dust with some heavy dust around here. Seems to have attracted quite a bit of crap around it. What I will do is take that cap off and clean it up and reseal it around there, so we don't get any arcing or stuff like that. A lot of that is quite entertaining. The wood just feels damp. Yeah, it just feels damp. I think it just needs to stay in a warm environment for quite a while, and just completely dry out before I start doing anything. This I can sort. Yeah, I think that goes there. It literally is just falling apart as I look at it. So yeah, does that one go there? Oh, sorry. Does that one go there or there? I think that might actually go there. I can deal with this. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. Yeah, I think that one went there. And it just holds the back down. But to be honest with you, it's screwed at the back there, so it's not critical. This isn't critical. Let's take the... I might have something to test that. So what's the tube? It's an A51 JCC02X. So let's have a go at testing this tube. So the setup on the CRT tester, so A51 JCC02X. It's got E on the end, but the other one hasn't, I don't know. 6.3 volts. Socket 23, and I do have that, and I've set it up on the tube, It's a bit worn out, but it does say, I think, socket 23 on that one. So let me just set the CRT sister up and put you on the tripod, and you can watch me test it. Okay, so it's 6.3 volts, so 4 to 7, and then we'll make sure all of the controls are down, all the cut-offs are down, everything's all good, we're on normal, on clean and balanced, just in case we accidentally go to rejuvenate, we don't want to. So set up. So set G1, which is 50. That's good. Then we want to set the heater voltage to 6.3, which is about there. Then we want to set cutoff. So that's not a good look. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's down. That's down. Yeah. It has got a cut off, so it's there. We've got it there. So let's see what happens. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Now it's possible that this tube here has been off for so long that it's actually not giving good emissions. So what I'm going to do is actually let it run and sit here for a little while. I don't want to run it for too long because I'm putting a lot of current through the heaters and stuff like that. So I just want to just let it sit there for a little while. So what I might do is just set it on just run the heater for a while, for 5-10 minutes, and then we'll come back to it. So we're seeing that everything is in sort of the marginal areas, the little yellow areas there. So I'm going to go and make a fresh cup of tea, and we'll come and check it again. So it's been a few minutes. I'm just going to work it out to test. Yeah, red is coming up, green is a bit low, blue is a bit weird. Let's see what the live test does. Yeah, they do sink fairly quickly into bad. Let's let them go back up again. Yep, I'm just going to let that run a bit more. Just let the heater. Yeah, it's warming. It's warm. That's warm. Let that run for a little while. It's just over 6.3, so let's drop it back down a little bit. I did calibrate this as well. So I actually there's a pot inside the actual test stove to calibrate that, so that's all good. Yeah, let's let that run. So it's been cooking for some time. Oh yeah, that's nice and warm. Okay, cut off. Yeah, that's good. Test. Yeah, I think it is what it is. Let me just adjust the voltage up just a tad. Let's take that to about 7 volts. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just in the good on the red. It's in the middle of the green. Sorry, it's middle of the yellow on the green gun, and it's borderline yellow green into the good on the blue. It will produce a picture. That's all I can say on this one. Is it will definitely produce a picture. There's no lights, no shorts, no nothing. Let's see what the life does now after being sitting there cooking for a while. Yeah, it's an old tired tube. It really is. So yeah, it's borderline on the end of its life. So do we do a clean and balance? I don't think so. I don't think so. Do we need to balance it? Yeah. Shall we just do it? That's why not. Why not? Why not? Okay. So on that, no, that came back up. So a clean and balance did some good. It will probably not last. It's brought them all back up into the good. I think, yes, it's at the end of its life. So let's take it from there. Right. Okay. Let's stop this and get on with trying to restore it. Okay. So I wanted to see what the effect of doing that clean and restore on the picture is. So I just turn that off. Let's see what it looks like. It's okay, but the convergence has gone off, and now that could be because I've accidentally touched something with some of the brushes. So it definitely seems brighter. Yeah, it definitely seemed brighter and slightly sharper as well. But yeah, it's just a temporary fix, you know, a clean and restore. Again, the convergence is definitely off. Let's put a test disc in. That is pretty awful. That is very awful. Let's adjust the focus. Let's see what we get. That is as close as we're going to get. Wow. I think the convergence is off. Have I knocked something? I'm not sure. I am not sure. I don't think I have. Could be the clean and balance, which has thrown it all off. Or it could be the actual physical brushing down of the whole tube. And something shifted as I was brushing it, so who knows. We'll have to have a look further at that. Yeah, the vertical convergence is off by some margin. Got some ringing along there. Again, that could be capacitors. It's generally all right. There's a bit of convergence problems up there. Let's see whether we can get this focus. Let's go back to. It's definitely getting better. So the focus voltage might be a bit off with capacitors. As it's running, it's getting better. So okay, yeah. So I think. Turn off and let's do a check all the capacitors, look for any of the low microfarad high voltage ones and replace them if I've got them in stock. But the first thing first is to actually put this against my radiator face down on a mat in my living room by the radiator and let this thing dry out, because it is quite damp. All of this wood is quite damp, so I have been running a risk of something going pop because of the amount of moisture in this thing. So okay, let's do that. Let's get that all sorted. So there we go. Get that into the living room. Yeah, I've got to be careful with this particle board. It's so soft and so ruined that I need to be careful with it, otherwise I'll end up losing half of the board. The entire board, all of these components are battery bolted to this, and from there upwards it's got water. So, right, don't know whether you can see here, but you can actually see where water has got in and the tracks of all of the water and stuff like that. So yes, this has actually got wet at some point, probably quite a lot at one point. So yeah, let's dry this thing out. So it's going to live here, up against the radiator in my front room for the next week. I just basically want it to dry out completely so that the particle board doesn't disintegrate any further. Yeah, so okay, I'll come back to this in about a week or so. For you, it's going to be like seconds. So, and then we'll put a new cable on it, and then start looking at the capacitors.
Several days later.
Okay, so the TV has been drying out. The wood is far drier and more structurally rigid. It's still got some damage here which I need to sort out. I've soldered together the power cable, so it's got a new power cable on it which goes into that. The cable is slightly short, but it's okay. It's alright. It's okay. So next is to what's going to be next? I think I'm going to dive into the capacitors and have a go through some of these and see what I can. Let's just zoom in there. See what I can actually replace on this. So I've got to try and take this board out, dismantle this. I'm going to take some photographs of it just so I know where everything is. Discharge the tube and also clean up around there. And start the process of doing a minor recap. I want to see what's damaged or not. But yeah, it's definitely a lot drier. It was very, very damp before, and yeah, I felt unsafe even being near it because yeah, it was that damp. So yeah, let's just crack on. Let's get this board out. This is the SCART socket. And again, that dates it to a post 1986 in the UK. Yeah, let's just crack on with this. So there we go. The board is out, and it's not structurally great, but it will do. It will do. I have toyed with the idea of actually rebuilding the entire whole wooden frame, which is within my ability. But whether I want to do it or not, I don't know. That sounds like Jack coming in. There's the main board and the neck board. Let's go through all these capacitors, have a look at them, see how good they are. Take this cover off. I don't know what the cover's for. Give it a little bit more of a clean up. And yeah, just see what we can do with it. It does work, which is the great thing. The focus is terrible on it, but I think that's more down to it not being run for a long time. We've got this board here as well, which I believe is the RGB board, so we can go through that as well. So yeah, okay, let's crack on with this. So let's have a look on. Let's see what we can do with it. Actually, let's see whether we can get rid of this. Is it clipped in? Yeah, it's clipped in. That's good. There we go. Is it clipped in on that side as well? Okay, it's just a bit of glue. That's what's holding it. There we go. Ooh, that definitely needs a clean up. Okay, let's have a look at this board. So it looks like we've got possibly, yeah, vertical. That might be main power regulator of some sort. Maybe horizontal, I'm not sure, I can't tell. It's very dusty. Could be a horizontal. So we've got various, let's get something to gently sub-contrast, horizontal hold, level adjust. What's these two here? Sub-contrast 1, sub-color 1. Because yes, this is all microprocessor control, so it's probably setting the bias at a certain level, and then the microprocessor just moves it up and down a little bit. So that set is called, what's that called? DC set. That one there. RF AGC, auto gain control. I'm going to give this a blowout. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly give this a blowout outside. I've already shown me blowing this thing out. Yeah. Okay, so we're back. It's looking a lot better, a lot cleaner. I haven't done that. I'll give that probably a wash in the sink. Yeah, there's still some crap on the board, but it's better than it was, and I can deal with it. Okay, the next step is to basically mark all the capacitors, the original capacitors on the top. So putting a line on them, just something on top, just so you know that, yeah, those are the ones you haven't replaced. Sometimes it can be very difficult to remember which ones you have replaced. Right, so all of the caps are marked. I'm just looking around for low microfarad, high voltage caps. They're usually the ones that need replacing first. Stuff like this down here, right beside the flyback, which is a 10 microfarad 250. Perfect. That could be the first one we do down here. And that will kick it off. Let's have a look on the other side of the board. Is that corrosion? Don't think it is. I think it's just some sort of crap. No, there we go. So here's the other side of the board. I can already see we have dodgy solder joints here. One there. I don't like the look of that one. A few over here. Generally where the heat is. Yeah, there's one there, one there, one there. So this is, you can see the discoloration of where there's been heat from components. So I'm going to reflow all of the flyback, even though they look good. I might just do that. And just slowly go over a lot of these. And then we'll then also replace that, where is it? Yeah. So this is the first one up here, between those two. Yeah, okay, so we're going to sort all these dodgy solder joints out, then we'll start on the cap. So let's start up the desoldering gun. While that's going, I will start doing a few repairs on the solder joints. Well, that says that 33 microfarad at 35 volts is 713 picofarads, and that's it. So yeah, I think that one's dead. Let's try this 330 at 25, 293 at V loss of 2% ESR. It's not too bad, but it's a bit leaky. And then we've got this 10-250, 10 microfarad 250 volts, 11 ESR of 2.1. Yeah, not that great. I'm a little bit low on stock on capacitors, so I've got an order coming in, so I have to be careful what I can do. If I can try and get the power supply capacitors done, then I'm happy. These three here. So 100 microfarad at 25 volts, and then these 33s at 50. So anything like that other 33, then this might be these might be baked and out and not great. So yeah, okay, let's rattle those out. Yeah, I'd say they're quite leaky and a high ESR for what they are. That's even leakier and even a higher thing, so that's definitely going. So yeah, everything I've pulled out so far has been a bit off. Let's try this 100 microfarad at 50, 25 I should say. Quite a lot of loss, low ESR and low capacitance, so just a bit leaky rather than anything else. So that is everything done in the power supply except that one, which is 1000 at 35, which I think I've got something that might do it. I think that's everything inside this, apart from that. 150 microfarads at 450 volts. Best I've got is a 120 microfarad at 400 volts, so that one's going to stay. That one will stay. I need to make sure I've marked that one. That's one that needs replacing. Okay, so that's all the power supply stuff done. I don't have the single capacitor there for the neck board. Actually, there's two capacitors. There's one up the top there. I might be able to do that one. Yeah, so if I just quickly do that one, I don't have a 10 microfarad at 250, so I need to order some in. So 47 microfarad at 25 volts. Yeah, we can do that one. Okay. Yep, so that one's there. Let's check this one out. This is one of the neckboard capacitors. Might be baked out. 48 microfarad, 3.5 loss, that's quite high, and ESR is quite high as well. Yep, so that's baked out. So everyone I'm pulling out is not great. My test has been playing up. No, I think my test has just given out. Great. No, I don't have those two, and I don't want to put 250s in. That might be a little bit too high. So I've been working through this board. I've done quite a lot over here, as much as my stock levels allow me to. Virtually every capacitor that came out was bad in some way or form. It was very leaky or very high ESR. And then I went on to the RGB board here, and yeah, every single one of those was high ESR. And I've still got a load left there. I just don't have the stock to do it, so I'll come back to that. yeah, it was quite impressively bad. What have I got? I've got one last one just here. I can probably do. That's 10 microfarad at 50. Yeah, I've got one of those. So yeah, so I'm just going to finish that. I'm just going to switch that back on again. The desoldering gun back on again, and yeah, I'm just going to then solder it all up and go check the board for any dodgy solder joints as well. So I'm going to put you up on the stand and you can watch me finish this off. So the TV set's all back together again. I've checked all my photographs just to make sure that all of the connections are in the right place. I've even cleaned up the high voltage cable to the anode because it was just filthy. And I was worried about sort of carbon tracking and shorts and stuff like that. So sometimes what happens is you can get so much crap that actually it starts to arc across it. So did that. I've resoldered all of the joints on this board, and this board. The control board I'm leaving well alone at the moment. I'll do that later. I've resoldered the SCART socket connections because they sometimes get a bit dodgy. Yeah, it's all looking very good in there. Again, apart from this poor base on this thing, actually, it's not a bad looking set inside. Some of the grime in there is actually from water ingress. So I think this has got wet at some point. But I think we're ready to go. I've replaced as many capacitors as I've got the ability in terms of stock. Everything I've pulled out has been rubbish, absolute junk, and tested bad or tested out of spec. I think only a couple. I think it was 1,000, one of the 1,000 microfarad ones actually tested within spec. Let's see what happens. Gone through, done a lot of dodgy solder joints. Let's plug it in. Let's see what happens, and take it from there. It's interesting how this tube has got like a faint blue phosphor. It was actually a thing. The sticker on the back, the Mitsubishi Blue Diamond, it was a thing to help with contrast. This I'm going to stick on the back with some double-sided tape and put it back into place because it's a part of the TV. But yeah, it's interesting when you look at it, and I think there's something wrong with it, but actually no, that's how it was. So I'm just going to plug it in and we'll see whether it works. Okay, let's see whether this Blue Diamond Mitsubishi TV still works. That's off. Let's put that into there. Okay, SCART's in the back. This will be the first time I also test the replacement cable. So here we go. And let's turn on. Something's on. And there we go. It's very, very blurry, quite bright. Let it settle down. We're not getting any smoke. Any problems? No. It's very, very blurry. Let me just turn the contrast down a bit. There we go. Yeah. It seems to be taking quite some time for it to settle down. It's much brighter. It is much, much, much brighter. So something interesting's happened in it. The focus seems okay. It seems to be all right. I'm not going to adjust it because I adjusted it before I did all the repairs. I'm going to see what happens. I think that's that one. Okay, that's the sound. Sub volume. Sound doesn't sound right, and in fact when I press down it goes up, and when press up it goes down. That's all right. Contrast. It's very blurry. It is very, very blurry. So, yep, that's working. Let's turn off. Turn back on again. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this run for a while. It is blurry. Let's try it. Look at the different test cards. Blurry in the centre. Slight pin cushion here and here. And we've got some issues across here where it's hooking out all the way down. The linearity is not too bad. It's not too bad. Let's see whether we can adjust the brightness in the... It's not too bad. Ooh, that's bright. Wow, that is bright. Okay, I think I might go back one, and it is actually quite a bright tube. The colour is very good actually. Let's try, that's red. No purity issues at all. All looks good. No, actually there was a little bit there. Green's very vibrant. Again, slight purity issues there. Blue is very strong. Yeah, that's very nice. That looks white. The colour balance all looks fine. Let's go to the frequency response. It's getting better as it runs. It's all a bit wobbly down here. Remember, there's more caps that need to be replaced, so it will dial it in at some point. The frequency is pretty decent. I can still see the lines. What I might do is just adjust the. See whether I can adjust the focus on this. There we go. That's better. Oh wow, that is better. Let's adjust the screen voltage. Yeah, it's about the same as it was. Yeah, that's come in very nicely, that focus. Let's put a test DVD on. Let's turn the lights and see how it looks. Turn the lights off and see how it looks. You alright? There's still that whine. So through the SCART there doesn't seem to be a great deal. It's definitely improving. That's one thing I will say, is that picture quality is really starting to come in. But all I can hear is a high-pitched whine from the speaker. Okay, let me plug the RF in. Let's see whether we can actually tune that in. So we've got that. So, okay. So there's some instructions here. We have a low, high and memory. So you just twist this. So tuning on, and then twist this little thing, and then when you're done, press the button to store it. So okay, let me turn off. There we go. So through the tuner, we're getting audio. We're definitely getting audio there. And what I've done is tune it into the same frequency into multiple channels. Yeah, and we're definitely getting sound. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem, and it's running and it's looking very decent picture. Actually, I am quite surprised at this tube. I've even had to turn down the screen voltage. That is very, very decent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run for a few hours. Let the tube warm up, let it have time to sort of settle down, and then I'm going to give it an absolute clean. And try to sort it all out. I am tempted, because this actually seems to be a very nice set. I need to fix the issue with the SCART. That's not a problem. But yeah, I might rebuild the cabinet on it. Yeah, it's not bad. It is not bad, considering this was literally being thrown out. Yeah, not bad at all. And it was also, yeah, not in great condition. So. Yeah, I like this. I like this unit. I like this. I like this TV. Really nice. Really, really nice. Okay, I'm gonna let this run for a few hours. I can't show you much because I'll get content matches. Although I can start it off. It will get some sort of content match. There we go. That isn't bad. That is a pretty decent picture. colour balance is all good. The focus is really started to come in. Yeah. The contrast is good, the brightness is good. Yeah, very, very, very pleased. But it needs a lot of work on this cabinet. Yeah. Right, let that run and let's see how it gets on. I'll update you if there's any histrionics from the TV. Anything happens to it.